What's up, everybody? I'm Karama, AKA The Blur Girl, and welcome back to SYFY WIRE at New York Comic Con. How's everybody doing? Well, now I would love to say that this amazing crowd is here for me, but they're not. They're here for our next guest sitting over here, Grammy-winning, Oscar-winning actor, artist, activist, Common. And his producer, Derek Dudley. You know the show The Shy, Meet the Blacks? He has something to do with that. So I'm really lucky. So I'm gonna just dive right in. Now we're making comic books.
Yes. First of all, how's everybody feeling? Everybody good? Yeah. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. And now we've entered into the graphic novel world, comic books. It's amazing for me because I'm a kid from the south side of Chicago and never knew I would be able to be a part of a comic book, you know, like a character based on me. It's something you never imagine in your life. And to have this character, Castro, and us be producing a graphic novel is incredible.
Now, how did the whole thing come about? How did you get involved with webtoons?
Well, Derek, you could...
Okay, so Derek, I'll ask him the question.
Well, first of all, thank you for having us.
Of course.
Thank everybody for coming. You know, it started, actually, we've been working on this for 2 years. So I met a gentleman by the name of Austin Harrison who has a company called Noble Transmission. And he and I met on a separate project, and we just started brainstorming about ideas in the graphic novel space. And, you know, I told him that, you know, I always wanted to try to create a character with Common in mind that was kind of a superhero, right? Kind of a James Bond-ish, Jason Bourne-esque type of character, right? And so that's kind of how the conversation started. And, you know, Austin kind of took that and, you know, went on a little, you know, kind of creative journey and came back with this idea of Castro. And then once he presented it to me, I was like, yeah, this is it.
What's Castro about, now that we can talk about it?
Okay, well, Castro is this, like, he's an individual that's, like, he's into antiques, right? And he's into antiques because his father introduced him to a lot of things in the museum and in the art world. But he's seeking out antiques as a way to not only just, you know, go get paid and do things, but he's doing it to help out, like, people who've had their antiques stolen. So it turns into this whole, like, espionage type of thing where he's connected with people in the underworld because of his seeking out to do good for other people.
So it's a little bit like a Robin Hood, trying to rob from one end and give back to the other?
Yeah, he's definitely an anti-hero in the way that he's definitely doing good, but he has his issues too. And part of one of the things that happened with him was his father died, who he was really connected with, and his mother died. So he feels like going out to help these individuals get their antiques, because a lot of people are connected to the items that he's getting. Mm-hmm. So, you know, he's doing it for that cause of, like, trying to fill that hole within himself, which is kind of powerful in itself, but it's still a dope graphic novel. And as you all can see through some of the pictures, he got me drawn like a superhero. I'm not that fit, but I'm trying to be like that, you know?
No, but that's what I was gonna ask you, because I've done a little antique shopping and I don't have to go flying through a window. So what's happening? Are these some of the people he has to escape from?
Derek, can you break down some of that?
Yeah, well, you know, because of the world, you know, there's a little espionage in there. It's high stakes. Mm-hmm. You know, not all of this, a lot of this is black market, right? It's not all above board. High net worth individuals that, you know, don't necessarily always play by the rules.
And they don't collect like we do.
Yeah, and Castro, you know, doesn't always play by the rules either. So, you know, some of these antiques that he, you know, acquires are very valuable for a lot of different reasons, and he has a lot of people after him. So, you know, in that first kind of scene in the trailer that you see is he's in an apartment. You know, the first couple of chapters were released today. So if you go check them out on online webtoon, you'll get to see kind of the first 3 chapters.
Okay.
But that scene is kind of, he's in an apartment and he senses that somebody is near, and he grabs the antique, kind of wraps it in a lingerie item and sticks it in his sock. And
as one does.
As one does. I mean, well,
Why else? What else would you wrap your antiques in?
Exactly.
I know I put mine in silk all the time. What?
Exactly.
And he jumps out the window right before, the people come in with the guns blazing.
Now, this is exclusively online webtoons.
Correct.
Okay, so we're not making anybody pre-order or run down to the comic book shop or find a comic book shop.
No, it's exclusive online webtoon.
Yeah, it's exclusive on webtoons, and as one thing about Castro that as Derek described it, I really like. He was like this James Bond. He could live in the world of James Bond or John Wick, but it's a different world also. It has a little Indiana Joneses to it because of the antique world, but it's modern. So I really love that aspect of what the whole series is about, and we got to add music to it too. Like
that was my next question, because comics are usually silent.
Yeah.
So how is this working?
So what happens is we had Robert Glasper who scored. He scored
Wow.
Along with me creating songs for the graphic novel. And what happens as you read it, you scroll down, during certain scenes, you hear music, you hear the score to it, and it's an incredible thing because we get to bring the art of music along with the graphic novel as you experience the graphic novel.
So
and Robert did
it's like a multimedia, transmedia kind of experience.
Yeah, for sure.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It's immersive.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the music is like another character, right? So and it adds to what you're reading and what you're seeing visually.
Now, you mentioned John Wick, so I can't get in trouble. He said it first.
Yes.
So are we going to get any more action, adventure, speaking multiple languages characters out of you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I had a great experience with John Wick. I love that world. But, I know I'm not in John Wick 3. My character is not. I can say that. But
spoiler alert.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But we have some really great ideas revolving around my character who was in John Wick. And beyond that, I want to do more films in that genre too, to have the action but have drama and just to be cool movies. I like just great films, so I definitely want to do more, and I really enjoyed John Wick.
Now, okay, you clearly like comics, and you clearly have been able to do action movies. So what's a superhero you'd like to play on the screen? I'm asking him.
Wait, who did you say? Yeah, they said the character that I really would love to play is Green Lantern, John Stewart.
John Stewart. Y'all agree? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I really would love to play Green Lantern, just from the standpoint of I had the chance to really research Green Lantern because I was cast as Green Lantern about 10 years back when Justice League was going on with George Miller directing. And I really got into this John Stewart character, him being from Detroit and him being a man of the community and stuff. And I learned how he worked with kids and stuff, and I really related to John Stewart. And I was like, oh man, I will kill this character. Let me play this character. But that movie ended up not happening. But, I'm putting it out there. I would love to, be John Stewart and play Green Lantern as God wills.
See, there you go. So we got to start tweeting that out. You know what I mean? Like, Green Lantern Common. You picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. So I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Is everybody going to go to Webtoons and check out his comic?
Yeah, check it out.
Awesome. Now, I don't want anybody to go anywhere, because up next we have a Skybound preview, the future of the Walking Dead video games, okay? Thank you guys so much.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Great job.
Hi, I'm Jackie Jennings with SYFY WIRE. If you can't get enough of New York Comic Con, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel for news, interviews, cosplay, and so much more. What are you waiting for?